So you did it. You got your appliances.
Yay!
I mean, kind of. Well, you got your refrigerator, and we brought your groceries back so you can put those away. And you also got your microwave and your stove, and there is a dishwasher, but you don't have that hooked up yet because of a lot of different things. A lot of different frustrating things. Hello everyone and welcome to Saturday. So yeah, they got their appliances. The dishwasher is over in the living room. It's not hooked up yet. It's kind of they were explaining the story to me. It's been kind of an ordeal, the whole experience. But whenever the people came to install the dishwasher, they said that the connections are old and they didn't have the connections to hook it up. And they're like, you're gonna have to have like a plumber come out and have the right stuff. And their neighbor actually does a lot of this sort of stuff, so they went and talked to him, and he was like, oh, I can grab the part for you. So then whenever the people were installing all the stuff, he went to get the part and came back, and because they knew that he was going to get the part and coming back, they hurried as fast as they could to get out of here before he got back so they wouldn't have to install it today. So he actually passed them
on the
road in front of the house as they were leaving, and he tried to stop them because he had the part that they could do it, and they ignored him and just kept going. And I'm like, oh cool, that sounds great. And you said they also installed your microwave with the plastic on it?
Yeah, I've been over there trying to cut the plastic off of it. Yeah,
so
the
peel
plastic? I've had, yeah, you can still see it sticking out the wall, but I've been over here trying to take an X-Acto knife to cut it off. It's, well, there's still, see, it's all wrapped in plastic. They never took it off. And it's a little late.
Home Depot. Neat.
And he put some major holes up in my cabinet.
Is that yours?
And one of the things you had told me is that whenever they were replacing the microwave, they looked up there and they said it was...
Yeah, they said that the thing was burned. It's wonder it didn't start a fire.
So, well, I mean, you've also had those appliances for 22 years.
Yeah.
So that, I guess that'll do it. I mean, the stuff looks nice in here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy. Just the frustration of dealing with delivery people.
Sure.
And you guys have already been down that road, so you know good and well what I'm dealing with. And it wasn't even as bad as what you went through.
Wow. I'm glad that you at least have your stuff here, and it does look nice in here. It does seem, because the stuff is dark, it does make the room darker.
Yeah.
And honestly, a lot of it is the fact that you only have one light in the kitchen, and it's on this side and not this side.
Yeah, I need to have another light installed right here, I think.
Yeah, that would help.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to set the time or the
We'll have to go to school to learn how to run these appliances. We are trying to... We can't get the microwave to work.
She was wondering what this was.
Oh, yeah?
The wire, and I found out it's for cans to lay on the side.
Oh, that's cool.
So they don't, like, fall.
Yeah, well, we'll take a look at your stuff and help.
Okay.
We'll make sure that all your stuff works.
Yeah, we were like, what in the world? Get this thing. What's this thing for?
I know.
Mal's immediately like adjusting the clock.
Well, you all know how to work stuff, and we're not technical, so.
Man, I've been a nervous wreck trying to set the clock, and she just did it.
Oh yeah, well they probably don't need to look at no manuals. They know how to. Mallory could probably install that dishwasher.
I mean, of the four of us, I would trust Mallory the most to do any of that sort of work.
I'm about ready to take ours out so I can fix the spring on it.
Anyway, this all looks great, and I'm happy that even though things aren't quite right yet, that like you have new stuff after 22 long years.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, that's a long time.
I bet you're excited to cook Christmas.
Well, if I can, hopefully I can figure out how to work this stove. I'm a little nervous. No, I guess I feel a bit overwhelmed. I'm like, oh Lord, I want to start baking Christmas stuff, and I'm like, oh, I hope I can figure this out. I don't know how to work them buttons.
You got to start somewhere. Once you get started and you get a little more familiar with it, it'll all be fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
After that last clip, I was looking over the appliances that my parents got, and because I'm so tall, I can more easily see, tall things. But I was looking above the cabinet where they installed the microwave, and there's two bolts that hold the microwave up into the cabinet. And one of them looked a little loose. And I touched it and I realized it wasn't even like into the microwave. It was just like sitting there. It wasn't screwed in. And when I tried to screw it in, it didn't go anywhere. It was like something was stripped. Basically, that bolt was doing nothing to hold it into place. And I was like, man, I don't know who these guys were, but they didn't do a great job in installing this stuff. But despite, you know, the woes that happened, they do have their appliances. And that's good. They're unfortunately going to have folks come back out to install that new dishwasher and probably to take a look at that microwave because it doesn't seem installed correctly. But at least they have the appliances. The interesting thing is that they are not the only people that are getting appliances today. We're also getting appliances today. And I know that sounds strange, but while we were over at their house, there was a package that had arrived at their house for us. And it was addressed to us, and it was from my grandmother. And we weren't expecting anything. She hadn't told us she was sending anything, so we opened it up, and inside was an air fryer. And we were like, oh! So that apparently is a Christmas gift from my grandmother, and I appreciate it. We've never owned one. We don't really even know a whole lot about them. And while we don't have a whole lot of space in the kitchen to keep, I mean, anything, because we don't have a whole lot of cabinet space, and especially on the counter, we don't have a whole lot of counter space, my understanding is that the air fryer, in addition to doing its mystical voodoo air fryer-ness, could also take the role of the toaster oven? And if that's the case, then we could keep this instead of this, because this would just be this plus more, and that makes it better. And it's a little bigger than the toaster oven, but not by a whole lot, so that would be an acceptable change out that we could do. So probably in the next week or two, we'll probably try and at least come up with a meal or two that we can utilize this thing. I don't know. Basically, like, I knew that this was a product that existed, and that was it. But there's never been a time where I've been like actively like trying to get one. So now that we have one, it's like, well, now we get to find out like things to do with it and things we can use it for. So it could turn out to be a really cool product. I have no idea. I just really don't know much about them. Mouse told me that basically, you know, they're mystical voodoo machines and they can fry things without all of the oil and stuff of traditional.
It kind of is a toaster oven and a deep fryer without fat in one. I mean, I've never even like watched a video on how they work.
Yeah.
It's just mystical as far as I know.
Well, now we have one, so we'll try and, you know, use it in the next little bit and see how it works. But Merry Early Christmas to us, I guess. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, let's meet back tomorrow